Okay, YouTube, there you go. There you are.
And remember, you have to click on lives. I think
Yeah.
it's on now, but
I always have trouble with that.
me
Oh,
too.
God dang, it's under video supposedly, right? But
Or you have to click on lives. Okay. It's under my channel and then videos and then lives when you click on live.
Uploads. Okay, so live streams.
Live streams. Yes.
There we go. It's 1 week ago, the last one. I think it takes a while to propagate. Let me refresh. Yeah, still 1 week ago.
It's not true because I see it. I'm gonna sing it.
Live streams, right?
Yes.
God. Okay, let me do all videos, see what happens.
You guys are full of questions.
Are people hearing you right now?
Yeah.
Okay, now I did all videos and now it's happening. Okay, good. Live now. Yay.
You guys are full of questions.
Are people hearing? Okay, yes. All right. People, y'all hear us? Here we are. Hang on. I'm going to try something really cool. I'm going to have a Word document and I'm going to click the function button twice so it types everything, supposedly, that it hears.
That's a cool, neat.
All right. Good. So let's see what happens, people. Hello, welcome to the Q&A with Pamela and Erik and me. I'm going to pick randomly these questions because some people are so
Mom, he said, Mom,
good.
Can I interrupt you? I'm interrupting you, Mom.
Just so good at getting right on time that nobody gets other people don't get a fair shot. All right, so we'll go for it.
Elisa, he's interrupting you.
Pamela, you hear me still?
Yes. Am I muted?
Uh-oh. Do you still hear me?
Yeah, but can you hear me?
Pamela?
Yeah, I'm here.
What happened?
I don't know.
I don't hear you.
Oh, no. Can everybody else hear me? Ask them if they can hear me.
I can't hear you.
It's not muted.
It doesn't say it's muted.
It's not.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's because I did the function of the audio thing. Maybe I can't do both.
Trick.
Okay, I'll cancel that. Now let's see. Oh, that's awful. I can't do it. That's terrible. I was so excited about it. Never mind. We'll go on with our bad selves. All right, so.
He wanted to say something to you. He was interrupting while you were talking and he goes, this is so important. Please stop her. I wanted to say thank you for yesterday. I know that was really hard and you do it so well every year.
Well, I didn't do it. I mean, I thought about doing it, but I'll do it today. Okay. Probably. But yeah, I mean, I know you're not there, but still, I don't want to look.
He said it doesn't matter, but thank you for thinking about it. And,
You're welcome, baby. Okay, so let's get somebody here. Florence B. Hi, Erik. Do my guides have any message for me? And hi, guys. I hope y'all had a wonderful weekend.
Florence
B.
Erik said you were thinking about some interesting travel and then you stopped yourself because of the situation. It will be okay if you consider doing it anyway. If we don't make things as big of a deal as we think that they're going to be in our minds and we just decide what we're going to do anyway, that can be helpful towards not talking ourselves out of things that we need to do right now. So that's his message for her.
Okay, let's see. Terry. Hi, Erik. My grand Bubbles wants to know when the cigarette ban in South Africa will be lifted. She's already busy smoking her fingers. Oh, I hope it's never lifted.
Oh, gosh. Erik says, when we go to this place where we're resistant towards things, when we're resistant towards our own health, and then we create something collectively to help everybody, then that happens for a reason. So now it's more of the situation of, you know, can the rest of the family deal with that? And like that person's withdrawal. So he said, you know, you don't need to know when it's being that way for a reason. There's some unique things going on involving like a cartel, and it has to do with like people. It's not just cigarettes, it's other things guised as cigarettes. There's other things going on where people try to smuggle things that look like cigarettes, but they're really not. So there's other things behind the scenes and in front of the scenes about drug cartels going on, and they're trying to stop it. So it would be best for everyone if we just let that happen.
Yeah.
As opposed to worrying about when it's gonna.
My sister smokes like a fiend. One of my sisters, the evil sister. Anyway, Laura, you gotta stop smoking. It's gonna cut so many years off your life. He says, who cares? Those are the crappy years anyway. All right, so Ingrid Blue Sky. Erik, do you have any advice for me regarding my finances? Or any advice for that matter, she says.
I'm going to give you this neat little trick. Pretend that you don't know nothing about it. Just, he said, you don't know nothing. You pretend that you will not know nothing about this, anything. I know nothing is your new mantra. Why? Because we tend to make it complicated. What if everybody, I mean, being we have no choice right now anyway, what if we all just said, we're going to do what we want to do, whether it makes money or not? And then surprise, it makes money. That is affirmation in relation to law of attraction. You have to work with law of reflection first. You have to let the universe reflect back to you, because we're not in this mode of now we have to go out in a job and make money anymore because all the jobs are taken. So being that everything's paused with what you were doing that really didn't serve you, can you guys take this time to not look at jobs and money in the same way, but to just say, I'm going to do what I love to do. And then suddenly you'll be having all these ideas just pummel you. They'll flood into your head going, how can I make money with that? And then you will. And then you'll suddenly be
money will come.
Making money with that.
Money follows joy.
So this pause, he says that's for one of the reasons. We're paused for that reason as well, to learn new ways of operating in our purposes and be financially supported. So this is happening. So we can't just go back to a dead end job that wasn't serving us. We can't just do that anymore. It's shifting. We literally can't. It was that whole idea was taken from us.
That's true. And a lot of people want to know if JFK Junior is really still alive.
Not. He said, but here's the deal. What if it's not in your realm? Okay, it's not in third dimensional. It's obvious that he isn't. But I want you to look at things that you're operating in a vast potential of, the vast potential of dimensional experiencing. Okay. So in someone's dimension, he's alive and well right now, and that is perfectly fine for them. And probably, he says, about a sixth dimensional experience. So in that way, there's a big yes. And a lot of people are actually channeling that being and from the third and fourth dimension. And a lot of people are living with that being and come back with stories to tell and time traveling and time hopping and doing all sorts of fun things. So in their reality, it is true.
Okay. Carmen, I'm Carmen. My daughter's name is Precious, and she keeps dreaming of my deceased boyfriend, Tony. What is he trying to tell her?
Erik says, and he's standing by Tony, and Tony said, yo, it's me, Tony. He came out like that, and Erik started laughing, and they kind of like gave each other a little fist bump, and it was funny. And now Tony says, I'm just trying to make you aware of your health. I'm trying to make you aware of how you can be more accepting of your own belief systems and others' belief systems at the same time, because the family is changing in ways that you could have never possibly predicted or imagined. And I'm just trying to be there for you. I'm just trying to let you know I'm there for you, and that I understand you when people don't, that I understand your right to hold your beliefs in this right now while other people are trying to make you change. And I need you to understand that other people hold a right to their beliefs right now too. Everybody's waking up, and everybody has to respect each other's beliefs right now.
That's right.
Family's waking up.
All right. Jenny Stanton, my sister Lisa recently lost her partner and she is suffering an extreme amount of grief. Oh gosh. Any message from her spirit guide, name unknown, or angels?
What's the person who lost? What is there?
Sisters, Lisa. She didn't give the first name
She
of the
lost her
deceased.
partner?
Yes. And Jenny Stanton is asking this question.
So I don't get the person coming through, probably just because I don't have a connection to their first name.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me as a medium without that. But Erik is talking about it. And he said, so when you really want to connect past grief, but you also need to honor the fact that you're really in grief, you can't change that. And so grief. And I want you to remember not necessarily a happy time. That feels so fake. But can you, when people tell you remember a happy time when you're just not there, but can you remember a special time that you had with that person? Can you try to just, because you remember well, and you right now don't want to lose those memories and you're grieving, but can we remember a better time? Can we like change? Because what she's remembering about him right now is a very painful memory because it just happened.
Mm.
And it's like images of loss and ill health and like something, yeah, the images that she's got something stuck in her head that's just hurting her about how he died.
Yeah, no.
And it's looping. You know how we do that? I mean, you've done that? Right. So we got to get out of that loop, Erik said. So you need to remember a special time, maybe a loving time, maybe an anniversary, maybe, you know, a time when you did something really, really loving together. Can you just go there and let that be your new safe place? He was like, Mom had to do that because it gets hard. You don't want those memories in your head.
Yeah. Like they say, grief is a price we pay for love. That's so true.
And we have to grieve simultaneously, but it'll be easier if we remember a special time.
Yeah. Okay. Carrie is the one who accidentally killed a woman in a car accident, and it was all spiritual contract. I remember this. My friend Amy was in the passenger seat. What was her role? Did she have a contract with Linda also? Or was she just
Erik
there?
said she had a contract with you.
Oh, okay.
That because of that scenario, that she would look also at different ways in her life that she felt that she was responsible for others paying too much. And in some certain ways, few and far between with her, but certain ways, she was being responsible too little for herself and being overly responsible for other people's pain.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Cody S. I have been trying to, I'm going to expand this so I can see it better. Come up with a way to make extra money. Does Erik have any advice regarding talents or abilities I should explore?
Yeah, there's a different type of astrology that Cody, he says Cody's really, he's like, Cody's my man. He needs to go into this type of astrology because it bridges between common American Western astrology and then deep Vedic Eastern astrology patterns. So there's a bridge there between the East and the West in astrology that you'd be really good at like developing that person's chart based upon certain archetypes that you're aware of spiritually.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl because it's CODI.
I don't know.
It doesn't make a difference though, right?
The message is a message. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Nina, I have been suffering from digestive issues, IBS, for many years. Can you tell me where it comes from and what I can do to cure it? You guys ought to see this thing on Gaia on the series called Transcendence, What's in Our Food. It's all about the wheat. It's not the same wheat that we used to have 40 years ago. It has been chemically mutated, basically. So that it just insults our, that's why we have a huge increase in autoimmunity, rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's, IBS, you know, also leaky gut. So
all that. Erik is nodding. Colitis, ulcerative colitis, you know, all.
Yeah. How can we you know, is this the problem with her? Is it the new awful?
She would say she's
so much inflammation,
but it's not the gluten. It's what's in the wheat. Erik says it's
is
not.
it gliadin, maybe?
It is lactose for her more than she started to back off. Erik says she started to back off from the wheat a good while ago, so it's not that anymore for her. But lactose hides. She would also say, "Well, I don't eat cheese or whatever that much." But even if she stops that, lactose hides in things.
Yeah.
So his advice about that for you is to stay away from the center aisles of the grocery store, and that's for everyone, not just you. Like we can just shop in the other aisles. You know, we don't have to shop those center aisles because in America, it's so, oh my gosh, the food system in America. Like, you know, my partner lives in another country and she's in the food industry and she's like in quality control and things. And she's like, what's in that? And I read it to her and she goes, oh my God, that would not even be allowed here. And
God.
right, the things that are in our boxes, like we kind of giggle at it. And I'm like, I'm not going to eat that then.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So what about LDN or probiotics? Would something like that help?
She's that is your guide is now talking. Amelia, that's funny. Amelia is a cute name. And she said it's beyond that. It's really beyond that. LDN isn't going to work unless your gut is clear. For you, it's not going to work. And for many people, it's not going to work until your gut is clear.
Yeah, that makes
you got to clear the gut first so that it can actually do its job.
Because there's a lot of people, I'm sure, on this thread that have GI problems. So yeah, how do we do that first?
You can't, Erik said there's not just one role in that. For everybody's gut seems to be a little different. So are you a meat eater? It's going to be different than if you're vegan insofar as how you clear your gut. So probiotics are best, and probiotics first for meat eaters, because you got to get all that under control and keep on probiotics the whole time you're cleansing. Okay. You know, you need to like do it really hard. And for vegans, it's the ion clears everything really fast.
Oh yeah, ion drops. You can look at it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Fasting, maybe fasting for
intermittent for meat eaters. It's intermittent, and for vegans, going in a place of more keto, being more in the keto type of fasting, where it's you're trying to get your body in a ketogenic state.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Chris wants to know his or her purpose. I don't know if it's male or female. It's hard to tell with Chris. And by the way, Wendy, Erik is my son, passed away, and now he's a spirit guide and a prankster. You can go to channelingerik.com and check it out, and also check out the Channeling Erik YouTube channel because it's got a lot of stuff.
Okay. It's about joy and finding bliss and joy and play. It's joy. So Erik wants to make this clear. Purposes are emotions. Everyone thinks purposes might be an action. Those are missions, which is different. But your actual purpose in life is always going to be something you can feel. And everything else is just like alignments and gifts and abilities. And people kind of mistake those things for purpose. And we can't even determine or have our gifts and abilities and alignments and missions wake up and be known until we know what our purpose is and feel it and embody it. So hers is joy. And he said, I want to tell you that a person who can laugh at themselves and laugh at themselves a lot is a person who's awakening. And you sometimes can laugh as a bypass, though. So that's different than really experiencing joy for the sake of it. When you do that, you're laughing your laughter is like an echo of old patterns showing up, you know, for you to really integrate and go deeper into. So there's a difference between like laughing because you're really joyful or laughing because you're uncomfortable and nervous in your joy purpose. So he just wanted to point that out for deeper methods of integration.
Okay, good. So what are some types of ways to express joy for, I mean, not just for Cody, but for everybody? What are some?
Well, it depends upon where they are. Erik says it depends upon where they are and their emotional integration and their emotional awareness and maturity. Because some people would say that they're grieving, so trying to laugh at things like going into laughter yoga, which is he loves it when I do that. He thinks it's hilarious.
Wait, laughter yoga?
Laughter yoga.
There's one time I did yoga, I just started crying.
Right. Yeah, that's a good release. So laughter yoga wouldn't be good for you because you're not there yet. Laughter yoga is like a type of joy that happens, but it's not really recommended, according to Erik, for people who haven't really emotionally integrated their grief. So sometimes maybe just hatha or ashtanga or some other yoga that helps you integrate grief would be better first. But
Gosh.
laughter yoga is one way. He said, pretend you're a kid. If you have kids, or if you have a goddaughter, godson, niece, nephew, cousin, you're a babysitter or nanny, perhaps you could stand to get with them on the playground and be playing with them, swing with them, go down the slide, make mud pies, like play in dirt.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
that.
Color.
And
Sometimes you can get a coloring book and just start coloring. It's fun.
yeah, do things that kids do, he said. Get masters at that.
And you don't have to stay in the lines either. So I'm thinking about working for, well, I applied, I don't know if I get accepted, for this awesome company owned by Fruit Street, which is a telemedicine kind of thing. But they've started this COVID MD telehealth, telemedicine. And I just really get a good feeling about their energy. But what do you think?
Erik said their intent is good, their organization isn't. So they need a little bit more organization to really get that off the ground properly. And they are going to run into some resistance from the government, which probably doesn't surprise you.
Yeah.
Before they can get some actual support. So they've got to be very discerning and cautious about how they put their products out there specifically, because the products can be like, they're going to have like interesting modalities and different ways to help people. And those products can be seen as like, the government is like, he shows me this big anvil and hammer, like
No.
well, stuff. You know?
Right now, it's just telemedicine, talking to people who are afraid they might have COVID or do have COVID and all that stuff.
Oh, it's going to be so much bigger than that.
Oh,
it's going
well,
in a great direction.
They are offer it's all owned by physicians, and they are asking, it's not required to invest, and the financial dude says the stock price is about to go up from like $1.50 to $2.50 or something like that.
And that's true, and that's good. However, you guys have to really watch the way you put your information out there. So just so that the government doesn't get weird, he said.
Well, should we invest in it at least a little bit?
You can, because it is going up, but don't. He said, this is the deal with investments. It's going to go up, and then it's going to crash so hard that you wish you never had, and then it's going to go up again bigger than it was before. So all these things have specific.
Like a 5-year.
Oh, long term, 5 year. 5 year is really, really good. 5 years is really good.
Like double, triple?
Double.
Okay, good. All right. All right. So let's see. Hi, I would like to know. Let's see. Danny Nicole wants to have a message for her guide, who is my current guide, but names don't really matter. You can try that if you want.
He calls himself Sam or Sammy. No. Give me her name again, though. Sometimes I get.
Sorry, it's Danny, Dani.
Yeah, sometimes I get tapped into the guide's energy and forget the human.
I know.
Danny says, stop looking ahead so much. I want you to, he said, go like this. Just breathe into your now. Just breathe into your now. Imagine that your body's a triangle, and sit up like this is your head, and your shoulders are kind of here at the center, and your body's the base. I want you to stop looking ahead, because you can't make any decisions if you keep looking at the future, because everything is so unclear. You haven't made any decisions, and you can't expect these decisions to be made for you. But there is a distance between where you are and where your reality actually is. So you're missing some opportunities that are required about decisions right where you are right now. And I need you to breathe into that and practice being where you are and being that now, in your now. The present is most important to make these decisions, because otherwise the future is just kind of like this thing that eludes you.
Yeah. All right, Anka. Hi, I would love to know if my mom, Rodica, Rodica, has a message for me. This is from Anka Daniela. And I'm going to try to start picking people that I know have not, or I think have not called in before, so they can get a chance. But go ahead. Anka Daniela, mom, Rodica. Or Rodica. Sorry if I'm butchering it.
She's looks like she's like cheering you. Except she's cheering you with a glass, and the glass, whatever's in it, is red. I'm not going to make any filters about what that might be, because she says not to. And she said, that's your medicine, whatever it is right now. And that's that. And she said, cheers. And she's got this really deep accent, like in her form right now. She said, I always wanted to be in, Jamaica or the Dominican Republic. And I always wanted to, and we can do that. She said, Radhika said, we can do that. We can choose our form. Just like that movie with Robin Williams, we can choose our form and be that. So she's got this deep Dominican Republican accent, and it's so beautiful and so
I love that accent.
And she's got these she's coming in, she's got these round dangly earrings and her hair's in dreads, and she's like, I'm just on this island, and and she's holding up her glass to you, and
she's on island time.
Yeah, she's having a blast.
Cool. All right, Chessie wants to know if there's a message for from her higher self. Chessie, last initial E.
So you're going through, higher self said you're going through a process. And when you're going through a process that's not so gentle, you don't want to push yourself through it. Allow purification to occur. Be willing to visit every dark corner of your fear right now. If your fear is a dark room and you can't find the corners, go find them and cry in them. Find your truth. Let love embrace you. When you're looking for love, when you're looking for truth, sometimes it's not apparent. So seek what isn't truth. Seek what is false. Seek that out so that can just fall away, so that the truth that's really present is actually right here in your face, but you can't see it. So look for what's false. Look for what's not true, and that'll just fall away.
I like that. That is cool. Instead of trying to, if
the purification process.
Hard to find, then then call
out.
Like
too much complication and focus on that can cause us not to see what's obvious, the guide says.
Okay. So next guy. Okay. So this, if you don't leave your first name, I can't help you. Sabine. Oops. God. Okay. What happened? So weird. You know the drill. It's just I have problems.
It bounces around.
Okay. Okay, good. I'm finding it. Sorry. Oh, Emma Offenbacher. What can you say about my health?
Okay, Emma. So Erik says that the tannins in grapes are really good, and the enzymes and that value, as well as the enzymes in cucumbers, to kind of like cleanse in a gentle, pure way your system. Your immune system is frantic. He says it's just maddening. It's like on fire, and it needs like some kind of, I don't understand this word in medical intuition, but sometimes guys use this word emollient, E-M-O-L-I-E.
Oh yeah. It breaks up, fats and
So you need that right now as well. So you can get that in supplements. I don't understand it. Guys just say certain words sometimes, and your guide said that word, that you need that. Because there's a lot of toxicity in your liver, around fats around your liver right now. And doctors have diagnosed that sometimes as fatty liver or things like that. It's just, so again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a medical intuitive. So I'm not qualified to diagnose or treat you, but I'm just an intuitive who gets messages.
Okay. Good deal. Let's see. Funny smiles, but again, she doesn't leave. She has an autistic daughter, Jeanette, but she doesn't leave her. Oh no, Francis. Any messages for me, my family, and my autistic daughter, Jeanette? And that's from Francis.
Okay. So Erik said, you keep asking what something is for. Why does this happen? Why? What would be the reason for it? What is this for? So what if the universe is just a big old mirror, Everything that's happening for your daughter is a 4. Notice I said not to your daughter. I said for your daughter is happening for you as well. And it's happening for your family as well. So what if she's just this reflection also that creates something, a mirror, and that mirror, when you look into it, it convinces you that your first thought that's fear-based, every time you have a thought that's fear-based, the first one that you notice, separates you from your own truth, and you have to look in that mirror and see and mitigate your thoughts, manage your thoughts every time you look into the universal mirror, your whole family right now. Just look at that. What's your first fear-based thought that comes about to any circumstance, in response to any circumstance? That will tell you where your truth is hiding, and the truth of who you are, and the truth of what this is about. Just take that fear, flip it around. And this is like the universal law of mirroring. He said, this is the universal law of mirroring, the law of reflection. Take that fear and turn it around to its opposite, find its opposite, and that's a truth that it's trying to teach you. So there's some deep lessons coming through your daughter right now for your family in that.
Cool. Okay, now I have been volunteering to answer questions for health tap patients. But it's a telemedicine thing too. They did not hire me. I don't know why. But anyway, but you know, I had been helping this one gentleman, Ethan, and I feel really like this maternal thing for him. Like I want to help him all the time. What is that connection about? Ethan, send over your adoption papers. I don't know if he's on.
So his mind, Erik said his mind is fascinating. You're fascinated. He's brilliant. You're fascinated by the way his mind works. He reminds you a little bit of Lucas.
Yes.
Sometimes, and the way his mind works, that brilliance, you know. And he said, but the mind makes his body suffer, because he like creates so much questioning and so much doubt over things, and then
my God,
then his body starts to suffer because of his mind doing that all the time, and it creates this illusion that the body actually honors, and then there's so much suffering. So
can you help him? Be his buddy?
Yeah, Erik said, I'll help him. I started trying to help him, particularly yesterday.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I tried to help him yesterday.
Well, maybe you can make yourself known, but not anything creepy. Like when he wakes up in the morning, don't like be hovered 3 inches over his face and go boom. You don't want to do that.
He said, oh, that's not creepy.
You got my boy. All right, good. That makes sense. All right. What foods are best for Rh negative blood, and what emotions is my purpose? Well, let's just do one question. What foods are best for Rh negative blood? And I get this a lot. And some people think it's like from extraterrestrial, or I don't know. I really didn't read much about it.
It's really hard because Erik says like what you think is going to be good for you is not actually what is. So it's like you'll have all these cravings for quick proteins, the proteins that go fast, like they're the fast release through your blood, like meats and beans and different things like that. All that'll mess you up. You're meant to be vegan. But keep in mind that that's not the only factor. Like we can make a chart over this and I could tell you guys what to do, but the majority of humanity is looking for someone to tell you what to do. And I'm not going to be one of those guys. I'm going to be one that says, okay, this will work for some of you. And some of you can't be vegans because you got other issues going on. So there's never going to be like a full answer, but there is the general, okay, if you can be vegan, try. And if you understand that it takes some cleansing in being vegan for Rh negatives, like that, your body's going to go through a big shift that could take months to kind of adjust to.
Does the cleansing happen automatically, or do you need to do something? Like
it happens automatically just by being vegan, and your body starts to adjust. And then if you mess that up and say just try to eat something mild like fish, then all of a sudden your body will mess back up again.
Now I'm starving for a big old juicy bacon cheeseburger. Yummy. Okay, let's see. Juan, Huan, and then Juan. Any guidance on the health issues that are making my life so incredibly hard? Oh,
Yeah. Eric said it's the food, man. It's the food. And he points towards the belly. He says there's a lot of bloating going on.
Yeah.
So remember, he said, remember what I said about staying away from those center aisles?
Yeah.
It's hard because that becomes very emotional for you. So this more than about food, it's 50-50. Some of it is staying in oneness, and the other one is staying away from the center aisles of the grocery store, like no wheat, no pasta. You are a vegetables and fruits person.
Okay.
Vegetables and fruits person. So then the other thing is your emotions, you're losing the battle with your mind. Your emotions are getting the best of you the majority of the time. So whether you're resistant to it or not, you got to meditate, man. You got to find some way that works for you.
Yeah. Okay.
There's the balance.
Let's see. I'm just picking randomly. Like I said, I just intuitively, Eric's gonna guide me what questions to pick. Judy Jenkins wants to know from Eric if there's anything else she could do to help everyone. Oh, that's so sweet.
It's about the nature of the miracle and making miracles and the energy of miracles an everyday phenomenon. Everyday phenomenon is what the miracle is. And, you look at that as your body, just being in a body is a miracle. So Eric says this all the time. He said, everybody wants miracles and magic, but then you don't believe in miracles and magic.
True.
He said, it's not hocus pocus, woo woo, juju stuff. This is everyday stuff. What if the miracle is the everyday stuff?
It's true.
You guys are going to be so happy to hug each other again that's going to be a miracle.
Oh, I know. I hope that Trump has seen that far UVC plan of mine.
He said it's in the works, Mama.
Everything right now.
It works.
It works. I mean, for certain places that, it would be a permanent installation, like portals and jetways to airplanes, or far UVC, like harmless, or, the ceilings of airplanes and cruise ships, I don't know, of food manufacturing plants, things that, we need to get clean right now. But when there are any kind of, and hospitals too, and operating rooms, but when there's an outbreak of anything, really influenza, doesn't make any difference, then some places ought to be able to like rent the portals or the lighting, like schools, churches, movie theaters, retail business, whatever. So anyway, let's see what happens. Okay, Tammy Parrish Miller. I seem to have lost my joy. Well, that's kind of a common thing. Any messages would be welcome. So first of all, Eric, why has she lost her joy?
She's looking for it from other people.
Okay.
So he said, oh my gosh, people take it in such a punishing way, Pamela, when you tell them don't seek joy outside of yourself. But you can in terms of nature and animals and children. But when you seek joy in terms of, this is what joy means for me. This is what love means for me when people try to make it just romantic. This is what joy means for me when people try to make it just one way. So he said, your fulfillment and your reward cannot rest in gaining that from another, but when you give it to everyone first. So what can you do to give that to everyone first? And then, because it's this cycle, when you give, it starts being returned to you. You sit in it and you give and it's returned to you. You sit in it and you give and it's returned to you. And it's the cycle. It's not that you give to somebody first or you receive from somebody first. It's the cycle of how it starts. Okay. So you can't receive it. You don't let yourself receive it. So try giving it, even if it feels fake at first, and you're going to like the way it feels. And then you're going to learn to feel joy by receiving it. But you've said to yourself, I don't like to feel joy from other people because I can't trust them. Something happened that made her not trust, and it just zapped the joy out. You got to learn to trust again. Trust is.
Yeah. And you also have to have you have to have self-love. So I'm wondering maybe if that soul happy technique, soulhappy.com, if that would help her. Maybe she has kernels of knots of trauma that have like these subconscious negative thought bundles. So check that out. Okay, we have a top chat actually for my YouTube live. When it's mine, I don't y'all don't need to pay for top chat, but Pamela, this is for you. Beth and Mattia, I really need to know if my higher self and my nanny grandmother have a message for me. Beth and Mattia, grandmother nanny.
Mattia. I don't understand. Is this two different people wanting a message, or?
No, the girl is Beth Ann Mattia.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And her mother, well, she wants to have a message from either her higher self or her grandmother nanny, Nanny.
So I get both, and the message is the same. It's about comfort. You're seeking contentment. So, and that she used to do that in soup. Nanny said, I used to do that with soup and bread and food. So what if that comfort feeling that we're looking for, that is coming from Nanny normally, and the nanny jokes, she's got nanny jokes. She's so funny. What if you are not responsible for learning how to wake up, your higher self said. So people's got this interesting version of humility. The person who's asking is very humble. Nanny says you're very humble. So, and it's almost to your own detriment because you've misunderstood what humility means. Humility is not meekness. It's not that you're shy, or it's not abasement or embarrassment or anything that people think it is. Humility is just understanding that you can't spiritually awaken by yourself. Humility is to learn what help and connection is for.
Yeah.
So that's your lesson. That is your comfort right now. It's understanding what humility is and what it isn't. And understand that it's that spirit, Nanny used to call it Holy Spirit, she said. So it's given by grace.
Okay.
She said, I understand that this is my religious terminology for back then, but it'll comfort you to know that it's me. So Holy Spirit comes by grace, and it knows how to make you feel at home, because you just keep saying, I don't feel at home. So ask for that grace, and you will feel Holy Spirit. That's the message from Nanny.
Oh, okay. Jennifer says, let me see, her fur baby Harley died last month, and of course she's devastated. I would be. Can we get any messages from him for Jennifer, from Harley?
Oh,
yeah.
Let me get through my sad. Hang on. Okay, you got to get through the replaying of the method of death, or the way that the death happened. That's the first thing. And Harley also says, I love you. You were so there for me. We're like one being.
Oh.
When you would look at me, I just know what you're saying without, and I would look at you and you would know what I need. You really made everything so easy and graceful for me. And I want to do this for you. I want you to understand that there's nothing you have to feel about this right now.
Okay.
No, you don't have to change the way you feel. You can't make this feel better. And it's going to take time for this feeling to just gently release itself. Don't try to make it go away.
Will he come back to her in some form?
She can't handle it right now. Harley says you can't. She doesn't want that right now. She just can't see that right now. But the moment she can, he will. The moment she can. Okay. But so Harley wants to come back into a cat, which is like, that's very, very different. It's the cat form. So people who are, I just want to say this real quick, people who are top chatting me with like donations, can you please just email me those questions? Because I do want to help you, but I can't get to all of them today, and I want to.
Okay,
so
good.
Personally, that way
you know what, one is PHP 250. I don't know what that is.
She just gave a very generous donation, and that was incredible. And I do want to help her. I've helped her before, but and anybody who does the chat, but I would rather do it by email than here.
Does everybody know your email pretty much? Or?
It's just PamelaAaralyn@gmail.com.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just shoot me over.
Okay, good. Because I was confused.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Helene Olson, do you have any messages from my higher self or my spirit guides? Olson. Is that Swedish, maybe?
Okay. Janine or something with Jan. I feel this name from this guide around. And I smell these flowers. They always come with these deep, deep roses. It's like she smells like Mary Magdalene would smell if Mary Magdalene had a rosy smell from being deep in prayer in a temple somewhere. I
Oh,
actually seeing a temple now. That's why I'm sharing this with you. So she says, Janine says, complexity isn't something that you don't need. You're trying to make a measured decision and you're saying, well, if I do this, then this happens. I do this, then this doesn't happen. If I do this, then the future might be this way or it might be that way. So complexities in the head is not from spirit. This is not how. So when I give you an answer, it's not a complex answer. I'm giving you an answer that's really simple. You just kind of don't like it and it doesn't feel good right now, but it is the answer. It's simple. And the answer is you need to make a cut. You need to make a clear cut or a clear boundary. She goes, poof, like that. That is the answer. And it hurts. But I've been trying to give you this answer for a long time. You're just trying to make it complex. And you'll say to me, well, but then this happened, then that happened. But no, I'm trying to give you the answer.
yeah. We humans, we're just slow learners. I know I'm one of them. All right, so
everything complex.
Yeah. Okay, so Julie Campbell, how can I release pain in my back? I wonder first, what's the spiritual reason for her having that? For me, I was told that it's sometimes I just don't feel supported. So, but what about Julie? Pain in her back.
It started out with something happened that caused her to literally feel like she should be flat on her back, like the shock of something that happened put her through in a way that it would be flat on her back, like that whole feeling.
Knocked her down. Life knocks us down sometimes.
Yeah, so that happened, but then she couldn't stay down. Like she literally felt that she couldn't, her guide said. So when that happens, and then you don't give your body the space to rest, then the injury prolongs itself and comes back in different ways to show you how the same emotional lesson with you not letting yourself rest and overly giving and overly serving and overly this and overly that all the time. So you were supporting others so much that you weren't receiving support. Something happened also that really shocked you and made you feel like you just like the rug was pulled out from underneath you.
Yeah.
An injury happened at that same time. So you were meant to stop and heal, not just physically, but emotionally from the shock of something. Okay. And now that same emotional energy is coming back again, the shock of something. So the back injury flares back up for that reason. Okay. Also genetically speaking, you have some degenerative disc disorder or degenerative disc disease. Now, keep in mind, I'm not qualified to diagnose you or treat you every time. I have to say that every time I answer someone medically, but I am a medical intuitive. Yeah. And I've helped, people for years.
So cool. Yeah. You guys, y'all need to know that is one of the gifts that she has to offer. So you need to go to PamelaAaralyn.com and I'll put that, of course, on.
You can, but just keep in mind, I'm not a doctor. It's kind of not something that I talk about very often because people like to get all up in arms about that. But I know she's suffering from some spinal degenerative disc disease or something that's coming across degenerative disc disease.
Yeah, welcome to the world that is my hell.
Right. But here's something that Erik said to me about this condition recently. He said, guys, caffeine is not your friend.
Oh, really?
It literally sucks the inflammation from from all of the meninges and from all the around your spine. It sucks.
Oh, wow.
Fluid that's naturally there that's actually meant to be helpful. You're thinking that maybe you want to get rid of inflammation, but there's some degree of protection in the meninges around your spine, like that whole area between the brain and the spine is there for a reason. It kind of sucks it dry and you have no fluid. You don't have enough fluid.
So would she benefit by drinking more water?
Yeah, she got to flush it out.
Alkalized water or?
Alkalized water, and she can also dump a little bit of. Erik said she could just put a little a third of a teaspoon of baking soda into her coffee or caffeine drink. And even though that doesn't taste so grand, it's not horrible. He said it's tolerable. That might help a little bit too. So caffeine's not your friend.
Interesting. It's my friend every morning. Elisa Pino. Hi, any advice on how I should handle narcissistic people? I felt like I had to choose that because a lot of us have in our lives narcissistic people that just are very hard. They derail us and they hurt us. So yeah, how should
Erik? Oh my God, he's gonna pick on me. He said you can do what Pamela does and play dumb to it.
What do you mean?
He said it just literally like throws her. So what she does, even if she does know that they're being sarcastic, she can't figure out why they're being sarcastic. He says, so some of you just like being in that innocence. So pretend you're Pamela and play dumb to it. Just be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
He said, so act confused. He's like, generally Pamela is confused by sarcasm. So she goes, I'm sorry. I know you don't mean anything bad, but it feels like you can't tell if you're being sarcastic, if you're trying to like give me a message that you're afraid to tell me. That's what I do. No, I'm just like, are you trying to say something?
They'll probably say, yeah, I am being sarcastic and I do mean to hurt you.
Yeah, well, that would be okay too, because that's an opportunity for integration where I can say, oh, you're meaning to, but you're doing that probably because you love me. You're trying to teach me something. You're being hurtful because you're trying to teach me something, which gives
surely you're good to do that.
Surely you wouldn't be like, and it kind of gives that person the opportunity to look at how they're talking as well. And I do that even when I can't, even if I do figure out sarcasm, I will quickly be like, it feels like you're trying to hurt me. And it feels like it's veiled in sarcasm or, something, can you just tell me like why you're saying something that would try to hurt me so we can fix it? Like, I just call them on it.
Oh my God, that is really brilliant.
And I'm like, I love you. You don't have to be mean to me, like to try to hurt me. You maybe think I'm stupid enough to not get it, but I do get it. and it gives an opportunity for integration,
Oh, okay. Let's see. Don't forget, put your names, guys, first name, and don't forget the deceased first names, and don't forget, don't repeat stuff, and don't email me your questions. Anyway, just a little reminder. Okay, let's see. This person's name is Ksenija. Oh gosh, I bet that's beautiful. If I knew how to pronounce it. Ksenija, whatever. My cat's name with a nose issue, Nose, is Misha. I love that name. My transition cat's name is Keisha, and a ferret, Chino. Can they give me advice about the nose issue from Misha, the cat? Or can anybody give advice for that?
It's genetic with the breed. First thing, it's hard just to confirm what she's already aware of. And it's an allergy. So there is a connection between transition cat and living cat.
Okay.
So Misha and I don't know what the other one she said its name was, but no, not
Chino. Misha is the nose issue, and then it's Keisha and is a transition cat, and also the ferret who transitions is Chino.
So Chino comes along with Keisha. I mean, they're together and playing and stuff, but Keisha has a connection to Misha that's just they're so similar. So Keisha says it's really, really hard because you've got to clear the nose, but it's structurally impossible. Like there's something here that makes that structurally impossible. What is it? Adenoids or inflamed tissue here.
You need
so it's hard to like do that because they swell. Yeah. And also there's a lot of runniness and snot and stuff too that's like naturally trying to clear itself, but it can't because this is like here is swollen. Sometimes the vets can surgically help with that. So yeah.
Okay, don't forget Top Chat people, be sure you email your question to Pamela Aaralyn at gmail.com.
Because we may not get to them in this one because there's so many.
Yeah, I see it coming up. So okay, let's see. This is from Linda Bell. Any positive messages from my guide, soul, or galactic family? What would they like me to know or do?
What's her name again?
Linda Bell.
Yeshua, or otherwise known as Jesus. Love over fear, love over fear, love over fear. Whoa. But your fear doesn't show up in the same way that most people have fear. Sorry to cough in your microphone. throat chakra blockage there going on with that one. So I'm a shaman, so I naturally start to, when people sit with me, you get the natural benefit of healing. My body will take over your pain and take it away from you. Not so good for me, great for you. Clearing it for you now. You should feel better in an hour. Dang it. So love over fear. Your fear comes in about and being afraid to speak. So by the time you do speak, you're pissed. Erik said, oh, by the time she does speak, it's like venom. But until then, she holds it in, and it becomes this block here. So you must choose love over fear by loving a person's person, not their behavior. We're not saying it's right. We're not condoning crappy behavior, Erik said, but you can decide not to respond to them. There's people around you that their actions don't deserve a response. So just forgive it. Just get out of their ego ways. Just go, okay, I'm gonna love you from afar, man, Erik, because we can love them from over here. It's still love. It's still love. You can love people from over there. And he pointed to the other side of my room. And I'm helping you clear that now.
All right. So wait, Misha, I forgot the cat. What can the vet do? Can they open it up, put a tube up there, or does the adenoids have to come out?
Yeah. Erik pointed, I'm still clearing that lady's throat blockage. Erik pointed to that, like they probably need to come out.
Okay.
I didn't know cats had adenoids. I'm like, what?
Either. Carolyn, Carolyn W, can Erik see if I can regenerate my apron manufacturing and designing business, or should I just let it go? And if so, next career move.
What's that person's first name?
Carolyn, Carolyn, last initial W.
Erik said, so businesses operate like this. They go along with our purposes. And when we're feeling in joy and creative and passionate and really into it for that time, we're like, yay, we're excited, to make aprons in this case, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to be clearing that for a while.
Well,
mute it.
This will be the last question.
So basically, and then we get excited. And then something happens and then we just don't really know why. We can blame COVID if you want, Carolyn. He said, you can do that if you want. But the truth is you got kind of out of your passion with it for a reason, but you're kind of not ready for the next step in honoring your purpose with an alignment to a new business. So what you do in that case is you do this and that. Maybe you do this and there's something else that maybe you expand it. Or if you're just done, you can just start to do something that's maybe a next step up. So we call this, in the universal laws, we call this universal law of specificity. I love teaching about universal laws. So Erik helps me a little bit with that. He said, okay, so let me make this non-Pamela jargon. This means ask for what the fuck you want, and then you will get it when you're ready.
I love that. That is all Erik.
So universal law of specificity, or ask what the fuck you want law is what he calls it. Means don't be afraid to ask what you want. And then start thinking about what do you actually believe? So when we started learning about law of attraction, we started thinking about The Secret. He said, those of you who watched that movie and you all pulled out your vision boards and put Lamborghinis and cash on there and, men from the gym with a six pack. He said, you all did that. But you didn't believe that you deserved it, that you were worthy of it, that you were ready for it. You didn't believe it. So then it didn't happen and you kind of got pissed. So if you're going to do a vision board in your mind or on paper or on cardboard or whatever you're going to do, make sure that it's kind of the next most believable step for you. So you need to go into next most believable step for you. Because you got a big plan, but you don't believe that you're ready. You don't believe it's possible. You don't believe it can make money. You don't believe. So do something believable that works towards it. And it's not aprons. She don't want aprons.
All right. Well, that's good. We've got to stop, guys. 11:30 my time. Thank you so much, Erik. Thank you, peeps, for being here. Hi, Ethan, if you're there. Pamela, thank you. I love you. I love you, Erik. And y'all check her out at PamelaAaralyn.com, which I will put right here. You might have to send me the recording since I don't think I recorded. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.